Midweek update time, and we are adjusting our core while keeping the logic from yesterday. Yesterday, we anchored on Matthew Stafford and Rams stacks against Chicago's one of the worst defenses overall, and that remains very viable. But today, we are elevating Josh Allen to our top quarterback and reshaping the bringbacks. At quarterback, we are pivoting to Josh Allen at 7,100 against Denver, who have a tough defense overall based on an opponent rank of 5. The Y is ceiling and leverage. Dash rank 100, a reliable 25-point projection for a quarterback with far more than 3 games started, and a 23 fantasy points per game baseline with 30 and 24 in 2 of his last 3. He brings dual-threat touchdown upside that can break slates even in tough matchups. We also like the news context. The Bills promoted Joe Brady to head coach after firing Sean McDermott following that 30-33 overtime loss to Denver. And while some analysts like Grant Cohn criticized the move, continuity with Brady should stabilize the offense right away. Given the tough opponent, we expect the field to be cautious, which makes Allen a strong tournament pivot while maintaining cash game viability because of his floor and rushing equity. We still keep some Stafford exposure from yesterday for game stacks, but Allen becomes our primary spend at QB. Running back, we are sliding to DeAndre Swift at 6,000 against the Rams, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall with an opponent rank of 15. The Y is price-adjusted role in a high-functioning offense plus recent form, dash rank 100, a 15-point projection, mirroring his 15 fantasy points per game, and game logs of 17 and 22 in 2 of his last 3. Swift's touch profile includes both carries and receptions, which keeps his touch count sturdy in competitive scripts. Recent coverage has emphasized Chicago's offensive surge and playoff push, and that aligns with using Swift as a bringback when we still run Rams stacks from yesterday. Ownership should be modest, making him a solid leverage RB in the mid-range. Wide receiver, we are upgrading Jackson Smith-Njigba to our top spend at 8,500 versus San Francisco, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall with an opponent rank of 17. The Y is elite roll trajectory and slate-breaking ceiling. Dash rank 100, a 25-point projection, 23 fantasy points per game, and recent outputs of 24, 16, and 14. Multiple recent pieces have him on the shortlist of non-QB MVP candidates, and game recaps highlighted how emotional and central he was after their conference run, reinforcing his alpha target profile. That blend of volume and efficiency at this salary fits both cash and tournaments, and he can be your anchor, even if you do not stack his game. His tight end is where we are making our biggest hold from yesterday's Rams-Bears game environment, but we are switching teams. Colston Loveland at 5,500 versus the Rams, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall with an opponent rank of 15. The Y is undeniable, recent usage and scoring. Dash rank 100, a 14-point projection on the 11 fantasy points per game, but the last 3 are 27, 25, and 21. Articles this week singled Loveland out among the most impactful players from Wildcard Weekend and credited Chicago's development at tight end for their playoff push. That momentum, plus a reasonable salary, makes him our preferred TE, especially as a run-back to any remaining Stafford or Puka exposure from yesterday. For the flex, we are moving to Olamide Zaccheaus at 3,300 against the Rams, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall with an opponent rank of 15. The Y is salary relief with direct correlation to our Chicago exposure and Rams stacks from yesterday. He's projected for 5 with 5 fantasy points per game and just put up 8 last time out. A recent piece highlighted Chicago's offense, ranking among the league's best in points and total offense, which gives us confidence in low-cost ancillary pass catchers to pop on limited volume. He is a tournament-only differentiator with very low expected ownership, ideal as a last piece in correlated builds. Defense, We are moving off yesterday's Patriots take and onto the Texans at 3,400. The why is recent scoring stability and a reasonable matchup against an offense that is middle of the pack overall with an opponent rank of 11. Recent defensive outputs of 12, 8, and 11 support the projection of 10. This is a clean plug-in for balanced builds and pairs, fine with either our Allen core or Rams-Bears stacks. Now, what remains the same from yesterday? We are still comfortable with our punt defense. The 49ers at 2,200 versus an offense that is middle of the pack overall with an opponent rank of 14. Nothing changed in the data or pricing, and the projection of 5 remains a fine salary release for stars and scrubs lineups. Quick value corner for large field tournaments. Tyson Bagent at 4,000 against the Rams, opponent rank 15, is strictly a contingency dart with an unreliable projection. The Bears reportedly retained him as the backup, so only deploy if late news shakes up the depth chart. Adam Prentice at 4,000 versus Buffalo, who have a tough defense overall with an opponent rank of 8, is a deep punt fullback play. This is MME only and not necessary in standard builds. Kanata Mumpfield at 3,100 against Chicago's one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 22 is our favorite min-price WR flyer. He's logged his first career touchdown recently and has earned trust as a quick route option, which fits as a salary saver in Rams stacks from yesterday. Terrence Ferguson at 2,700 in the same matchup also benefits from Chicago's one of the worst defenses overall. He posted 13 3 games ago and was featured for his first NFL catch in camp coverage. He's a thin but viable leverage pivot off higher-owned tight ends. Cade Stover at 2,500 versus New England, who have a tough defense overall with an opponent rank of 7, is a pure punt tight end. He has shown incremental usage with 4 and 2 in his last 2, but this is strictly for unique constructions. To summarize the changes, we keep some of yesterday's Rams-heavy approach, but elevate Josh Allen as our primary quarterback for ceiling and leverage, in spite of a tough defense overall, leaning on the Joe Brady continuity narrative from this week's reports. We rotate to DeAndre Swift and Colston Loveland as priority Chicago bringbacks, and we upgrade Jackson Smith and Jigba to our top wideout based on elite projection and recent MVP ladder buzz. We shift defense to the Texans for steadier recent scoring while holding the 49ers as the unchanged punt. That is our mid-week plan. If late news swings Chicago's quarterback situation, we will revisit Bagent exposure, but otherwise, we are riding Allen's dual-threat ceiling with Swift, Loveland, and JSN as the core skill positions, and we are keeping Konata and Olamide as our low-salary leverage pieces tied to the same game environments we highlighted yesterday.